Welcome to Travel Talk here with Rudy Maxa and Tommy Danielson. It is the 6th of July, 2022, as we talk to you. So keep that in mind if you were watching this later on YouTube or Facebook, that we are talking about travel items that are currently truth on July 6th of 2022. But of course, given the crazy travel world we've been in lately, make sure that if you're watching later, that what we're telling you still holds true.
Crazy world altogether.
Yeah, I'm a travel journalist and broadcaster. Tommy is an expert on all kinds of things, especially hotel points, frequent flyer miles, and he and I jointly own Maxa Tours, which is a small European luxury tour company. You can find out about that at maxatours.com.
Right.
All right. I know
Let's do some quick chat today. So
we're gonna go bing it a bang it a boom quick. Go right ahead.
I don't see your the email you were supposed to be sending me. I don't see that.
Oh, hang on.
Let's find that while I'm doing my first bit here.
Okay.
So interesting, as we reported earlier this week, Crystal Cruises has been, with the help of a Italian company. I got it, Rudy.
Okay.
With it's as everybody know, Crystal Cruises went belly up here during the pandemic, and not because it was a poorly run cruise line, or that it was the finances were bad. It was the owners of Crystal Cruises, a Hong Kong-based company, that went bankrupt and went belly up. Now we are learning that Abercrombie and Kent Travel Group, as we reported earlier, is taking over, and they have gotten Jack Anderson to go back. He's going back to his job as CEO at Crystal Cruises, which looks to be like a daughter company of Abercrombie and Kent.
Okay, that's good news. I have some that's not necessarily good news. British Airways has announced that they're going to cancel an additional 10,300 flights between now and the end of September. So British Airways is on your list for flights. Check and see before you travel, long before you travel, hopefully, see if your flight still exists or if you need to get backup. They've already canceled about almost 20,000 flights so far in the last few months. So that'll bring about 30,000 flights they've canceled in the course of spring and summer.
Yeah, so I mean, you've seen these are. I would venture into saying it's better to do it like that than to cancel them way in advance, because we're talking August through October. It's better to know now than to just be stuck in a chaos and miss your flight. So I don't think that that's anything wrong with airlines being more realistic about this stuff. And also bear in mind that there are rules and regulations in the EU for how you can operate flights. It's not like here where airlines can go hog wild and not compensate to travelers who get displaced. So I think that it's important that it's a good thing that they do. And we've also seen some of the U.S. carriers do this.
And most of my items, a couple items I have today, as you mentioned before we went live, are sort of bad news. You're looking for something good news. I guess this is good news for one side and bad news for the other. You probably saw that Airbus just beat Boeing in selling a whole bunch of planes. So it's good news for Airbus and bad news for Boeing. Did you see that news, Tommy?
I have not. Let's look at that.
I'll find it for you. I don't remember the numbers.
Airbus sells. I saw that just the other day. Chechen Air obviously has taken advantage of the U.S.-China tension. So, China is the biggest market. It's interesting to see that China is working on their own plane, which is I'm sure has been ripping off technology from European and American airplane manufacturers. But I would say this is all politics. Why this order was won. And there, the biggest operator of planes of planes in China is at this point is Boeing. We are moving over to Newark Airport. There were 16 contested slots at Newark Airport, which were owned by Southwest and given up by Southwest, and those slots have all 100% been awarded to Spirit Airlines, which is kind of interesting.
It's a big deal. That's a big deal. 16 slots for Spirit.
Yeah, during peak hours. Yeah.
Right. That's a very big deal. I bet there are a lot of major carriers whose noses are out joint over that. Why do you think they
yeah,
got?
so the reasoning, the government says that Spirit is most likely to provide the lowest fares to the most consumers. That's why the decision was made.
Okay.
The ones who applied for them was Alaska and JetBlue, who were denied to any of them. They gave all the slots to Spirit, which I think is interesting.
Okay, that is a very big deal. Thailand, the Thai government is now encouraging encouraging hotels to now charge foreigners more than they charge Thais for hotel rooms. It is not uncommon in some third world countries, and I don't know that necessarily put Thailand in the third world category, to charge much less to locals to enter, say, parks or certain attractions or temples or whatever. But hotel rooms, I mean, if I go to New York, I expect the New Yorker who's checking in coming into Manhattan from Buffalo to pay the same rate I do. They think they want to make their money back faster because Thailand was closed tighter than a drum for almost 2.5 years. But I don't know that charging foreigners more will necessarily be attractive, particularly because other countries like Vietnam and Malaysia are not raising rates for foreigners. So,
right. And also, it's interesting. If you read the article too, the Tourism and Sports Ministry asked to plan hotel operators to implement a dual charge structure under which foreign visitors may be charged rates similar to the pre-pandemic days, while locals may continue to enjoy discounted rates.
Yeah,
this is to maintain the standard rates and services for foreign tourists. So I guess they're heavily discounted right now, and you can get. Thailand is cheap to begin with. I guess they don't want the government wants to instead of the companies. It's just the reason why they are priced so low right now is because nobody's traveling there. So, or very, very few people are traveling there. How will the government taking the difference between the fare? This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Well, the other thing is, Thailand is trying to draw more affluent travelers and fewer backpackers that crowd the beaches for moonlight raves and that sort of thing. So I suppose getting hotel prices up for foreigners is one way to exclude a small part of the budget market. So I guess
I think so. What they're doing here is a difference. So luxury in Thailand is fairly inexpensive to very many places around Asia. I mean, I usually stay at the St. Regis or the Mandarin Oriental or something like that in Bangkok, and the rates there are, fraction of the price what they are here. You can get a lot for your money. I think that, when the market allows the hotels to go back to the pre-pandemic prices, it will adjust itself. The reason why they are lowering their prices now is because they need to fill their hotels back up. So having the government steal the difference between that, it seems like a really bad plan to me. It hasn't happened, but it's a proposal. So we'll see. So as you can see, they are expecting 9.3 million tourists this year. Foreign arrivals this year, a fraction of the 40 million tourists who arrived in 2019.
It certainly is. It's like a quarter of it. Yeah. Well, Thailand has been tying itself into pretzel shapes, trying to figure out how to they finally opened up July 1 and during COVID, they would try something for a week and then take it back and say, no, we're not doing that anymore. They have really been twisting themselves in all kinds of shapes to try to figure out how to get more upscale tourism and open up without, driving up COVID numbers. So this is just the latest.
Yeah, I think, by the government raising taxes to raise prices up to pre-pandemic level, that's definitely going to speed up the process of bringing it up back to what tourism was or not. Speaking of where people are, where stupidity like this doesn't happen. Wow, the euro is worth today the same as a US dollar.
Oh my gosh.
How about that?
Oh my! I haven't seen parity in the euro and the dollar in, I don't know, 15. I don't know how many years. A long time.
It was very briefly for a short period of time, but boy, is it, if you can stomach traveling on the flights and bear in mind, you're seeing a lot of the cancellations, the delays, and all that stuff. Most of the flights are on time. The vast majority, it goes according to plan. Some are unlucky, but at the end of the day, what a bargain you can do here. And also the British pound. The British pound today is at 1.19.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible. I mean, this is a thing that, I mean, it almost reached, 2 in the bad old days. I mean,
right, exactly. It was all the way up to 2, and it's been kind of between 140 and 160 is kind of where it is. I don't remember that the British pound has been this low. I don't remember the last time.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Right.
Yeah.
If you look at a 3-year thing, I guess there was a little bit of a blimp here during the pandemic. It was down for one day, for the day when everything shut down on 3/18 of 2020, but it immediately budged back up. So I guess but pre-pandemic times, I'm not going to lie to you, this is unheard of, and it should be taken advantage of. And if you also look at Swiss francs, also extremely favorable, and Canadian dollars it's not that favorable, but it's still up there. So this is a good time to get on a plane and go overseas.
Exactly. The other thing, I just want to make sure I get the number correctly. Give me a minute. The Turkish the rate of inflation in Turkey right now, we're belly aching over 9% inflation. It's 79% right now in Turkey, the highest level in 24 years. So, and Erdogan's popularity is slipping as well. So that may end his 20-year reign.
Maybe something good will come out of this.
Yeah, and actually, you're right. I'm glad I'm going to France on the 20th. We can just hold that euro down for me. I'd appreciate it for 2 more weeks. Keep it down there so I can.
And also, as we can see for today, oil prices well under $100, so there will be relief at the pump for sure, which is perfect for the midterms. I guess that if that's going to be the conspiracy theories happening today, is that Biden is now bringing down the gas prices because of the midterms.
Right. Yeah, and as we speak at 2:16 p.m. Central, just after noon your time, just after 3 New York time, the Dow's up 154, Nasdaq's up 85. So generally, I don't know. I know I get all these ads for newsletters, for financial newsletters. I made the mistake of subscribing to one once, and oh my God, they sell my name to everybody. But it's always, they rely on fear to get people to subscribe. So every email I get every day from all these is recession, recession, recession. And I
think that a lot of people feel like we are in a recession. I mean, the purchase power, but also we're seeing a lot of avoidable things happening right now. When it comes to, it's all about being smart with your money at this point. But at the end of the day, what the pain we're having is going to be going on for what we're seeing is that the natural gas is obviously the thing that we haven't talked about, which is up 700%. This year, which is going to have a dramatic increase when it comes to heating houses also here in the United States. That's going to be a rude awakening that will happen later this year for many. And if you can, and you live in a state where you have the opportunity to it, getting away from natural gas is not a bad idea right now. The more you can, these are the things that are going to have impact on people's lives. Like we just decided to get rid of our gas water heater, and because it's heating water is one of the biggest costs for somebody who lives in a warm climate like we do most of the year. And it's $30-$40 a month that we spend on that probably, but that's going up to more than $100 a month. That's money, and they have here in California. There's an incentive program. So there's these hybrid water heaters that are that cost about a little bit around $2,000 fully installed, and you get that money back from the government. You have a rebate now. You file it in, and they send you a check back. And those hybrid water heaters, they do electric, and they also heat during the hot months. It takes the heat out of the garage and heats up your water heater, so you get hot water from nothing.
Wow.
And so I think that it's more money to travel.
More money to travel. Okay, well, again, when you start thinking about 9 or 10 or even 11% inflation at the grocery store, be grateful you're not living in Turkey where it's 79% inflation right now, and be grateful that if you're spending dollars and traveling, particularly to Europe, you're getting bargains on euros and the pound. So pretty good.
Well, the good news is that it will definitely we'll see some relief at the pump for those who are still using gas-powered cars. The gas prices will go down with 20% in the next few weeks. Hopefully, it'll stay under $100 and drop even more. And that's going to have a big impact on various things when it comes to taking road trips and stuff like that around the U.S.
So we do have some good news to end on today. That's fine.
We will see. I think that we're still going to see some sort of a recession for sure. That there will be. So it's time to buckle up. But what recessions mean? Good travel deals. So if you have a steady job, and I had this discussion with my really good friend Martin Rieken, who was the head of PR for Lufthansa back in the days. When we had the 2009 or 2008 to 2010 recession back then, people were, there was only like a handful of people that lost their jobs. So out of professionals, it was like 1.8% out of professional lost their jobs. But people stopped spending money.
Yeah.
And that up till now has been a big difference because for travel-wise, we're still seeing people spending their credits. They had booked a cruise. They had a credit with Delta or United or American or Southwest or whoever the case may be. They are traveling and they're spending that money that they saved by sitting in like we're doing now in their chairs at home for 2 years. And they're doing that. But after that, I predict that later this year, we're going to see travel being scaled back dramatically. I think plane tickets are demand for plane tickets. That's the reason why we saw all of these fall sales. Say Southwest did 40% off for fall travel. 40% off is a lot of money. And there was a lot of flights that were included. All the flights that we had booked on Southwest, we rebooked into a lower price.
Right.
And they also just had a sale again. So you're seeing that that's going to happen. So I do think that we will see good deals in the fall. And what Martin said is like by saving money when your job is solid and to save money because you wanted to cut back because, of a recession. It's the worst thing you can do. You have a stable job you've had for 25 years. There's no chance of losing your job. Get out there and travel because that's the only way that travel is going to be coming back for sure.
Okay. All right. Good news. Short report. Tommy, talk to you when we next talk. And keep in mind this, we're talking on July 6th of 2022. So keep in mind that information is current as of today. Your dollar is going to go real far in any European country that has the euro. And it's also going to go far in Great Britain.
1-to-1, baby.
Historical highs for the dollar in both those regions. All right, Tommy.
Thank you.
Travel safely. Bye-bye.